Have you ever found yourself thinking, I used to have so much energy, but now it feels like I'm running on empty? If that thought has crossed your mind lately, don't worry, you're not alone. Many of us in our 60s, 70s, or even older start to notice that life feels a little slower than it used to. But here's the good news. There are people out there who are living well into their 90s and 100s with energy, vitality, and joy. And guess what? They're not superheroes. They're just doing a few simple things differently. That's exactly what we're going to explore today. In this video, we'll uncover some of the secrets of centenarians, those incredible individuals who live to be 100 years old or more, and see what habits they've adopted that might help us feel healthier, happier, and younger at any age. Whether you're looking to boost your energy, improve your mood, or simply enjoy life to the fullest, these tips are for you. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's dive into the first habit that can make a big difference. One of the most surprising things about centenarians is how active they tend to be, even as they grow older. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting heavy weights, although if that's your thing, more power to you. What I'm talking about is staying physically engaged in life. For example, many 100-year-olds still do things like gardening, walking, or even dancing. These activities might seem simple, but they keep the body moving, which is absolutely essential for maintaining strength, flexibility, and balance as we age. Think about it. When we stop moving, our muscles weaken, our joints stiffen, and over time, everyday tasks become harder. But when we stay active, even in small ways, we keep our bodies strong and our minds sharp. Take Maria, a 102-year-old woman from Italy I read about recently. She still walks to the market every morning to buy fresh vegetables and bread. It's not a long walk, maybe 10 minutes each way, but she says it gives her a sense of purpose and helps her feel connected to her community. Plus, it keeps her legs strong and her heart healthy. So how can you apply this to your own life? Start by finding something you enjoy doing that gets you moving. Maybe it's taking a daily stroll around the block, practicing gentle yoga, or playing with your grandkids in the backyard. The key is consistency. Even 15 or 20 minutes a day can make a huge difference over time. And remember, it doesn't have to be intense. Just aim to move a little more than you did yesterday. Your body will thank you for it. Now let's talk about another secret that centenarians swear by: eating real, whole foods. Have you ever noticed how many of them still cook their own meals and rely on fresh ingredients? They don't follow fad diets or count calories. They just eat food that comes from nature. Things like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and lean proteins. These foods are packed with nutrients that support your immune system, give you energy, and protect your brain as you age. Take Okinawa, Japan, for instance. This region has one of the highest concentrations of centenarians in the world, and researchers believe their diet plays a big role. People there eat lots of sweet potatoes, leafy greens, seaweed, tofu, and fish. They also practice something called hara hachibu, which means stopping a meal when you're about 80% full. This helps prevent overeating and keeps their digestion running smoothly. But here's the best part. Adopting this kind of eating pattern doesn't mean you have to give up all your favorite foods. It's about making small, sustainable changes. Try swapping white rice for brown rice, adding an extra serving of veggies to your dinner, or snacking on almonds instead of chips. Over time, these little shifts can add up to big health benefits. And trust me, your taste buds will adjust faster than you think. As we wrap up these first 2 points, I want to remind you that neither of these habits requires drastic changes. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight. Instead, focus on one small step at a time. Maybe today, you decide to take a 10-minute walk after lunch. Or maybe tomorrow, you try adding a handful of spinach to your morning omelette. Every little bit counts, and before you know it, these small actions will become part of your routine. Now that we've covered staying active and eating nourishing foods, let's move on to another area where centenarians excel: managing stress. Stress is something we all deal with, no matter our age, but learning how to handle it effectively can make a world of difference. Let's explore that next. Managing stress might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think about living a long, healthy life, but it's absolutely crucial. Think about it. Stress isn't just something that happens in your head, it affects your entire body. It can raise your blood pressure, weaken your immune system, and even mess with your digestion. Over time, chronic stress takes a toll on both your physical and mental health. But here's the good news. Centenarians seem to have mastered the art of keeping stress in check, and there's a lot we can learn from them. One of the most common ways they do this is by staying connected to their loved ones. Loneliness and isolation are big contributors to stress, especially as we get older. Many people find themselves feeling disconnected after retirement or when friends and family move away. But centenarians often prioritize relationships. They make time for family dinners, call old friends, or participate in community activities. They understand that having a strong support system doesn't just make life more enjoyable, it also helps them cope with challenges. Take Sardinia, an island off the coast of Italy, for example. This place has one of the highest concentrations of male centenarians in the world, and researchers believe their close-knit communities play a major role. Families there live together or near each other, and elders are highly respected. They're included in daily life, celebrations, and decision-making, which gives them a sense of purpose and belonging. You don't need to live in a tight-knit village to reap these benefits, though. Start small by reaching out to someone you care about. Maybe it's scheduling a weekly coffee date with a friend, joining a book club, or volunteering at a local charity. Building connections doesn't have to be complicated. It's about showing up and being present. Another way centenarians manage stress is through mindfulness and relaxation practices. Now, I know mindfulness might sound like one of those buzzwords you hear everywhere, but it's really just about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. For some, this means meditation or prayer. For others, it's spending time in nature or engaging in a hobby they love. The point is to carve out time every day to slow down and breathe. Let me share a story about a man named Joe who turned 100 last year. He lives in California and swears by his morning ritual of sitting outside with a cup of coffee, listening to the birds and watching the sunrise. He says it sets the tone for his entire day, helping him feel calm and centered. Even if you're not a morning person, you can create your own version of this. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes to sit quietly with a cup of tea, practicing deep breathing exercises, or simply stepping outside to feel the sun on your face. These moments of stillness help reset your nervous system and remind you to appreciate the little things in life. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about sleep. If you've ever had a night where you tossed and turned, only to wake up feeling groggy and irritable, you already know how important sleep is for your overall well-being. Yet so many of us struggle with it as we age, whether it's due to aches and pains, racing thoughts, or changes in our sleep patterns. Getting quality rest can feel like a challenge. But guess what? Centenarians tend to prioritize sleep, and they guard it fiercely. The secret isn't necessarily sleeping for 8 straight hours, though that's great if you can do it. Instead, they focus on creating routines that signal to their bodies that it's time to wind down. For instance, many centenarians stick to regular bedtimes and wake-up times, even on weekends. They avoid heavy meals, caffeine, and screens right before bed, and they often incorporate calming activities into their evenings, like reading, knitting, or listening to soft music. Consider the lifestyle of centenarians in Nicoya, Costa Rica, another region known for its longevity. People there go to bed early and rise with the sun. They spend their evenings relaxing with family or reflecting on their day. There's no rushing around or trying to cram in one last task. They honor their natural rhythms, while modern life might not always allow us to follow the sun quite. So literally, we can still adopt pieces of this approach. Try dimming the lights an hour before bed, swapping your phone for a book, or doing some gentle stretches to ease tension. Small adjustments like these can help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. And speaking of routines, let's touch on another habit that centenarians excel at: staying curious and engaged with the world around them. Have you ever met someone in their 80s or 90s who seems sharp as a tack and full of stories? Chances are they've kept their minds active throughout their lives. Whether it's learning a new skill, solving puzzles, or simply staying informed about current events, keeping your brain challenged is key to maintaining cognitive function. As you age, research shows that mental stimulation helps build what's called cognitive reserve, which acts like a buffer against memory loss and dementia. Centenarians often pursue hobbies or interests that excite them, whether it's painting, playing chess, or teaching younger generations about their experiences. They approach life with a sense of wonder and curiosity, always eager to learn something new. So how can you bring more of this into your own life? It could be as simple as picking up a new hobby you've always been curious about. Maybe it's gardening, photography, or learning to play an instrument. Or perhaps it's signing up for a class at your local community center or library. The goal isn't perfection, it's enjoyment. When you engage your mind in meaningful ways, you're not only sharpening your cognitive abilities, but also enriching your life with new experiences. As we continue exploring these habits, I want to emphasize that none of this is about being perfect. Life is messy, and there will be days when things don't go as planned. What matters most is consistency, not perfection. You don't have to meditate for an hour or grow all your own vegetables to reap the benefits. Just take one step at a time, and remember that every effort counts. With that in mind, let's turn our attention to the final piece of the puzzle: cultivating a positive outlook on life. Attitude plays a surprisingly powerful role in longevity, and centenarians offer some inspiring lessons on how to embrace optimism, gratitude, and resilience. Let's dive into that next. Cultivating a positive outlook might sound like something out of a self-help book, but when it comes to longevity, it's one of the most powerful tools we have. Centenarians don't just live longer, they live happier. And while genetics and lifestyle certainly play a role, their optimistic mindset is often what sets them apart. These individuals seem to approach life with a sense of gratitude, humor, and resilience that helps them navigate challenges without letting negativity take over. Think about it. Life doesn't stop throwing curveballs just because we get older. Whether it's health issues, loss, or changes in our circumstances, there's no shortage of things that could bring us down. But centenarians tend to focus on what they can control, and they make a conscious effort to find joy in the everyday. They celebrate small victories, cherish their relationships, and savor the beauty around them. It's not about ignoring difficulties, it's about choosing how to respond to them. Take Helen, a 101-year-old woman from New York who still greets each day with enthusiasm. She says her secret is simple: I wake up every morning and say, "Thank you for another day." Even if she's facing pain or frustration, she reminds herself of the blessings in her life, her family, her memories, and the little pleasures. Like a warm cup of tea or a good conversation, this habit of gratitude doesn't just lift her spirits, it also strengthens her emotional well-being and helps her stay grounded. You don't need to wait until you're 101 to start practicing gratitude. It's something anyone can do right now, no matter where you are in life. Try keeping a journal, where you write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. They don't have to be big. A sunny afternoon, a kind word from a neighbor, or even the smell of fresh flowers can count. Over time, this practice trains your brain to notice the positives more than the negatives, and it can transform the way you experience life. Another key aspect of cultivating positivity is learning to laugh at yourself, at life's quirks, and at the unexpected twists and turns along the way. Laughter truly is the best medicine, and centenarians know this better than anyone. Studies show that laughter reduces stress hormones, boosts your immune system, and even improves heart health. Plus, it just feels good. Many of the oldest people in the world have an incredible sense of humor. They don't take themselves too seriously, and they know how to find joy even in tough times. Consider the example of a group of centenarians in Ikaria, Greece, often referred to as the island of longevity. Researchers noticed that these elders love telling jokes, sharing stories, and laughing together. Their social gatherings are filled with music, dancing, and plenty of hearty laughs. This isn't just fun, it's a vital part of their longevity formula. Laughing connects them to others, lightens their mood, and reminds them not to sweat the small stuff. So how can you bring more laughter into your own life? Start by spending time with people who make you smile. Watch a funny movie, read a light-hearted book, or share silly memories with your grandkids. Don't be afraid to embrace the absurdity of life. After all, aging comes with its fair share of humorous moments. The next time you trip over your slippers or forget why you walked into a room, instead of getting frustrated, allow yourself to chuckle. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes the best thing we can do is laugh along with it. Now let's talk about resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep going despite obstacles. This trait is common among centenarians, and it's one of the reasons they're able to thrive well into old age. Resilience doesn't mean never feeling sad or discouraged. It means finding ways to move forward, even when things feel overwhelming. For many centenarians, faith, purpose, and perspective play a huge role in building this inner strength. For instance, some draw comfort from their spiritual beliefs, which give them a sense of peace and meaning. Others find purpose in mentoring younger generations, sharing their wisdom, or contributing to their communities. Having a reason to get up in the morning, whether it's caring for a pet, tending to a garden, or simply enjoying the sunrise, keeps them motivated and engaged. Perspective also matters. Centenarians often remind themselves that challenges are temporary and that they've overcome hard times before. This mindset helps them face adversity with courage and grace. Building resilience is something we can all work on no matter our age. Start by identifying what gives your life meaning, what lights you up inside, who or what inspires you. Once you know your why, it becomes easier to push through tough days. Surround yourself with supportive people, lean on your faith or values, and remind yourself that you're stronger than you think. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and every victory, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. As we wrap up today's conversation, I want to leave you with this thought. The secrets of centenarians aren't magic pills or miracle cures. They're simple, practical habits that anyone can adopt. Staying active, eating nourishing foods, managing stress, prioritizing sleep, keeping your mind sharp, and nurturing a positive outlook, all of these things add up to create a life that's not only longer, but richer and more fulfilling. Remember, it's never too late to make changes that support your health and happiness. Small steps lead to big results, and consistency is far more important than perfection. Whether you start by taking a daily walk, calling a friend, or simply pausing to appreciate the moment, you're already on the path to living your best life. Before we go, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that resonated with you? Or maybe you have a story about someone in your life who embodies these principles. Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and I'm sure other viewers will benefit from your insights too. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. We're here to provide tips and inspiration to help you live your best life at any age. Here's to embracing each new day with energy, curiosity, and joy. After all, life is a gift, and every moment is an opportunity to make the most of it. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep shining.